So today on Ivy League Murders, we are coming to you with an exclusive report. Laura and I are channeling our inner news reporters. So my name is Sarah Alcorn.
And I'm Laura McDonald.
And I'm a private investigator in the Boston area, standing in front of 193 Clifton Street here in Malden. This house was the last known address of Qinxuan Pan, age 29. We just went to the house and we noticed that the front door has actually been...
It looks like it's been broken in, so we assume that a search warrant has been served on the residence. And we'll show you some close-up footage of the front window, which looks like it's been broken in.
Yep. And so we don't know what that's about, but possibly a search warrant was served here. So what does this unassuming house behind us have anything to do with the Jiang murder case? According to Malden police, they responded to a domestic argument involving Pan at this address in 2020. Then recently, Malden PD came back to this house on a warrant out for Pan in connection with Jiang's murder.
And as we noticed when we first pulled up on the house, it looks like the front door has been broken down when a search warrant has been served, as you see behind me. Today, Ivy League Murders is coming to you with an exclusive report. I'm Laura McDonald.
And I'm Sarah Alcorn. I'm a private investigator in the Boston area. And we are doing an exclusive report right now on the Kevin Jiang murder. This is the murder of the Yale University student down in New Haven. We've come across some information and we would like to share it with you. So Pan is currently being sought for questioning in the shooting death of Yale University student Kevin Jiang. Kevin Jiang was shot and killed the night of February 6th in the neighborhood of East Rock in New Haven. The following is a video where you can hear the shots fired that night. There are 2 initial shots followed by 6 shots. This was an execution. Jiang was found outside of his vehicle and was dead by the time the New Haven police responded to the scene. Jiang is the 6th murder in the New Haven area so far in 2021. Initially, he was thought to be the victim of a random road rage incident because the New Haven police noted that there was damage to Jiang's car. And I'll tell you something, this case absolutely breaks my heart.
This is really a sad one. He had so much ahead of him.
He did. And he was an Army veteran. He was a sole supporter to his mother. He also studied forestry at Yale University.
He was he was a Christian and an active member of his church.
He was, and he was, to all accounts, a very, very kind soul. He was only 26 when he was gunned down. So I just wanted to also read to you that his professor from the Yale School of Environment says, looking back in my 30 years of teaching, he is the single most effective student I've ever had. He was such a bright light to be extinguished so early. Some people are embers and smolder, but he flamed and burned very brightly when he was here. Our hearts just break for his family and his friends. So who is Qinxuan Pan? Qinxuan Pan is an MIT graduate student. He specialized in computer science and artificial intelligence. And Pan was in the vicinity of Jiang's murder. So the police stopped Pan the night of the incident about 8 miles away in a scrapyard in New Haven shortly after the shooting. His vehicle had a flat tire and he was acting strangely.
This is a crazy coincidence, Sarah.
It's a crazy coincidence. And had the New Haven police run the plate of the SUV Pan was driving, they would have seen that that vehicle had been stolen out of Massachusetts. In fact, Pan had gone to several rental agencies looking for an SUV that someone could lie back in.
This is bizarre, Sarah.
It is. And so according to the rental agent, Pan told him that he was going to take a road trip and he would often take naps on the road.
Right.
So the rental agent thought this was very odd because the seat was kind of bumpy and would not have been a comfortable place to sleep. So
now you had a theory on this based on your experience as a private investigator. What is that?
Well, what I think, if, and again, Pan is innocent until proven guilty. We'll just make that point. But if Pan was lying in wait for Jiang, he could have tilted the seat back and not been seen in his vehicle. I've done it many times on surveillance myself.
Yeah.
So, and basically Jiang would not have seen Pan until it was too late.
I never thought of that.
So, the car, the SUV that Pan rented, was not returned to the rental agency, and they reported it as stolen. So, and because the New Haven police didn't run the plate and see that the vehicle was stolen, they did not arrest Pan. And they also didn't connect the two incidences that night until later. So instead, that night, the New Haven police escorted Pan back to a Best Western hotel in New Haven. And when they realized their mistake, it was too late.
Much too late.
So Pan had slipped through their fingers and is currently on the lam. He was last seen in Georgia on February 11th. So what is the connection between Pan and Jiang? Let's get to that. Qinxuan Pan is, like I said, is a graduate student in computer science at MIT. There are several papers that have his name on it. And apparently he was also the teaching assistant, the TA, for another student by the name of Zion Perry. And so a week before his murder, Jiang proposed to Perry and jubilantly announced their engagement on social media. She said yes, that kind of announcement.
They were very excited.
So was Jiang's murder connected to his engagement to Perry? Jiang proposed to Perry on January 30th, and a week later he was dead, Laura.
Yes.
So here are two photographs showing Pan and Perry attending a party at MIT in 2020. We cannot confirm this, but there were postings that Pan had an inappropriate fascination with Perry. Did Pan become obsessed with Perry and, after the announcement of the engagement, kill Jiang in a fit of passion?
Well, we're only speculating here, Sarah. Of course, this is all alleged, but I think the timing points to us, concluding that may be it.
It may be it, yeah. And again, we
won't know more until Pan's caught and we hear his side.
That's right. And Jiang and Perry were very much in love, it sounded like. And Perry has spoken in very glowing tearfulness about how wonderful Jiang was. So, and honestly, we still have a lot of questions about this case, and I'd be curious about what was Pan's mental health like in the weeks leading up to the engagement. And again, we can only really speculate, and so we're looking for anybody who would have information about any of these people, basically, who are involved in
And what should people do if they have any information?
I just wanted to mention that Pan is nowhere to be found. And again, let's flash to his picture. And if you have any information on Pan's whereabouts, you can call the U.S. Marshals at 877-926-8322. There's a $10,000 reward for any information leading to Pan's arrest. The 29-year-old was last seen Thursday, February 11th, near the Atlanta area with his family. Pan was seen carrying a black backpack and acting strange. So do not attempt to contact him, but if seen, report immediately to the authorities. So I just also wanted to mention that, like I had said, Kevin Jiang was the sole supporter for his mom. There is a GoFundMe in Kevin Jiang's name. Mm-hmm. The fund is set up to help his mom to cover funeral costs. If you have any other information related to this case, feel free to contact us at ivyleaguemurders@gmail.com and on our Facebook page too, or any of our social media platforms. We really would like to see Pan apprehended and questioned. And again, he's innocent until proven guilty. However, he is, definitely a person of interest in this case.